Welcome back. We are covering 25 perks to consider when joining a new company. Don't twerk for your perk. Number 5 is financial services and banking. And before we get started, do me the huge favor and honor of clicking the positive feedback mechanism on whatever platform you happen to be watching or listening to this content on. I greatly appreciate it. And it also helps the platform distribute it to other like-minded folks. And it's free to do and it's quick to do. So do me that favor and go ahead and click on those. So number 5 is financial services and banking. And again, it's a little bit different right now with a lot of folks working from home. But beforehand, when people are working in the office, understanding where you have access to financial services and banking, whether that be an ATM, if that's what you need, or maybe you need to actually go into a bank. But a lot of places and campuses will actually have a banking service provided there on the campus, within the building, whatever that situation happens to be. But if that's something you find yourself frequently having to do, whether you have to transmit financial services or money overseas or offshore or anything like that, and you have to use that type of service, make sure that you maybe ask about that in your interviewing process when you're looking and talking to these companies, and closing out the deal potentially in terms of finding a new employer, and just seeing what kind of what's in the area or something that's quick. Because again, if you can save yourself an extra half an hour because there's banking services on site and on-prem, then that's something that can really be beneficial to you. And especially if you're one of those types that is transmitting money through traditional banking cartel services, having one that's local there, like I mentioned, on campus, or within a 5-minute drive or whatever, so that it just saves you that time. That's something that's I think definitely a positive. Some actually will actually locate it and work out a partnership to give some extra discounts, or whatever that is. Maybe it's a free checking type of thing if they if the employer actually is big enough, or even if they're not, if they set something up, they'll offer that as an additional perk to their employees. But you have to ask about that. A lot of times there's a lot of perks at the various companies that are around that people don't ask about in the beginning. So just kind of take inventory of how you're spending your time, right? If that's something you have to do every day or weekly, and if something that is that important to you, that you can identify that ahead of time when you are looking at potentially a new employer, I think it's smart to do. I would just actually put down a list of the perks, and obviously there's 25 here that we've been discussing, that you can kind of go in and ask them, or even send them an email ahead of time and ask them about that, and see if they'll respond and how responsive they are and what they actually offer. So again, just something to think about. Not overly complicated, but again, it's a lot of times when you're in the throes of going through the interviewing process, and you get at the end, if you don't have these written down or ahead of time have those answered, it won't get covered, and then it's too late once you accept the position, right? So anyway, just something to think about. And that's going to do it for this video. If you wouldn't mind clicking on the positive feedback mechanism on whatever platform you happen to be listening or watching this on, I'd greatly appreciate it, and we will talk to you at the next video.